case you don't know by now, I got a new graphics card. You can go ahead and click the annotation you see right here-ish, and that'll take you to my previous video, which was the unboxing. However, if you're too lazy to do that, I realize you'd have to reload the page. It's a lot of work. So in case you don't know, I did get a Gigabyte AMD Radeon HD 6850. This is going to be for my hackintosh, which can be seen behind me. And so the main reason for this was for video editing and running dual displays. The card I'm running right now, which is an NVidia 9800 GTX Plus, that can get kind of laggy. It only has 512 megabytes of VRAM, and so between video editing and everything, it can get kind of laggy. So I decided that it was time to upgrade. I had the cash, and so I went ahead and I got it. So as you can see, the card is there, ready to be installed. And here's my machine. So pretty soon we'll go ahead and we'll go inside this case, and we will be taking the old card out and putting the 6850 in. So I'll be powering down my machine, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so here's my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and come up here and shut down. And right now I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to this video card. So I'm going to shut down, and as you can see, at least hopefully very soon here, my system is now off. Well, my computer's unplugged, even though you can barely see it in the frame, and so now we're going to go ahead and get this up to the desk. Here we go. Success. Alright, so here's my case. I'm going to go ahead and take the thumb screws off. One and two. So now in my case, this whole entire thing just comes right off. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my fan on my door here. Probably can't really see that too well, but just a standard fan, nothing too crazy, spectacular, bananas. Right, so my door is now off, and this is the piece of machinery we are now going to be getting out of here. There's my 9800 GTX Plus. The first thing we're going to do is get this power out of here. This card does require one power draw, just like my new card does, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of here. Simple as that, just a very basic power draw, nothing too crazy. The next thing to go are these two screws right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty screwdriver to get them started, because I do have them in pretty tight. And from here they should be pretty easy to get out. They are just, thumb screws. So hopefully my arm isn't completely blocking the shot right now. And both those screws are now out. And now ignore this power cable. This has nothing to do with the graphics card. This just goes from my power supply up to the other connector on my motherboard, so that's just how I get power. Okay, so in case you've never removed a graphics card from a PCI Express slot, there's going to be a little tab here that you have to push down, otherwise you're going to break your slot and or the card trying to get it out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. This is the graphics card, and the whole thing is just going to come straight out. So I'm going to go ahead and push that little tab down and simply pull it out. And here you go. There's the 9800 GTX Plus. In case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to be selling this. I'm going to be keeping it just in case, with my new card in a year, 2 years, whatever. Hopefully a lot longer than that, but eventually it will die. So this will be nice to have. It's just a backup card. So now that we have all that empty space in there, it's getting pretty lonely. It's already calling my name that there's something wrong. So that's where this guy comes in handy. This is the 6850 by Gigabyte. As you can see, dual fans. Very, very nice cooling. Go ahead and watch my unboxing video for a more in-depth view of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this upside down, because that's how it's going to go. You want the ports facing that way. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is much easier to install than to uninstall if you've never done it. You don't have to push any tabs down or anything. All you do is simply line it up and put it in the slot. So we're going to go ahead. This does get in the way, however it's not too big of a deal. Alright, so just when it's about lined up, I'm going to go ahead and simply push and apply some pressure. And there you go. You heard that very satisfying click. And so as you can see, the graphics card is now in place. Now you cannot forget that you have to connect the power. And on this card, it's not here like it was on the other card. It's on this side. So I'm simply going to go ahead and grab this. And you won't be able to see this too well, but I'm just going to go ahead and put this in like so, then apply a little pressure, and there you go. So now that the card is actually in place, all we have left to do now is go ahead and put the screws back in. So here's the card we have just replaced, the NVIDIA EVGA 9800 GTX Plus, just replaced with an AMD Radeon HD 6850. So now I got to reconnect this power adapter for my fan. That's now in. On goes the side to my computer, and now the thumb screws. So that's it for the installation of a graphics card. In case you've never done this before, it is a very easy procedure, as you just saw. You can get very powerful cards that still install just as easy as, a baseline card. And so as you can see, my monitor behind me is black, and that's because switching on a hackintosh from a NVIDIA chip to an ATI/AMD chip, completely different. I have NV enabler installed, so because of that, it won't boot. It'll boot, but I just don't see anything. So I'm going to have to do a clean install of OS X Lion, and I am going to have to purchase a DisplayPort cable. So that'll be here Monday, I believe, and today's Saturday. So you can expect an unboxing video and a review of how this card does once I get it up and running. But doing a clean install of Lion really won't be hard at all. This frame buffer does work out of the box. If you don't know what a frame buffer is, you can go ahead and go more in depth on Hackintosh, but I will be able to get this card up and running right now online. However, it just won't be fully optimized. So until then, this card will run. I will have both displays, but it won't just be used at its full potential. But so that's pretty much it for the upgrade of my computer. Really, the only thing I left to upgrade now is my solid state drive, but that won't be for a while yet. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm at CPUKid on Twitter. If you have any questions about the graphics card or just about my computer or anything in general, I'll be glad to see you on there. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching.